The original Dead Space is by far one of my favourite survival horror games. The way it brought new mechanics to a stale genre really spiced up the way that this horror game played, and I'm glad I get to re-experience that again with the remake. The remake recently just came out in 2023 and it is by far one of the best remakes I've ever seen. Stays very true to the original, but it still adds way more stuff for you to sink your teeth into, and also lots of jump scares and new mechanics. In this video you'll be following through with my impossible mode run and all the ups and downs that came with it. Hopefully you guys enjoy. For those of you who don't know, the original Dead Space on the 360 and the PS3, impossible mode basically was just super hard mode. Enemies would kill you really quickly, you'd have no ammo, no health most of the time. You could save and die as many times as you want though, so pretty easy to do as long as you have the patience. However, in the remake, they've changed it to almost hardcore mode, but even harder in my opinion. Because this is the original Dead Space, and there's so many areas where you can die just from hazards. And this game takes about 7 hours, even if you know what you're doing. So dying one time can reset your entire playthrough. And as you'll see in this video, things don't go to plan a lot of the time. So we start the game by heading towards the Ishimura, with our fresh-faced Isaac Clarke. Took me a bit of getting used to this new face, but you only see it a couple times in the game, so it's fine. And I think it actually suits him after playing it a couple times. Anyway, all hell breaks loose, as it does in horror games, and we end up fighting for our life against the necromorphs. Then we pick up the trusty plasma cutter. This was the MVP of this run. And for any of you that don't know, the plasma cutter in the original game was by far the most broken gun. When you upgraded it, it would simply slaughter necromorphs. And in this game it does exactly the same. Also, the thing with this game, I remembered from the original, if you have one gun in your inventory, you only get ammo for that one gun. So if you have the plasma cutter, all you get is plasma cutter ammo. If you have another weapon, you will get plasma cutter and that other weapon's ammo. You will never get other weapon ammo unless it's in a specific place and it only spawns in that specific place. For example, the armory in chapter 9, I want to say. But yes, you can use that to your advantage because some ammo is extremely expensive. So if you do want to stick with one gun and not the other, if you get more ammo of the other gun than the one you want, you can sell it and then buy the ammo you want. I used this to my advantage quite a lot during this playthrough. This was probably the most nervous I've ever been on stream to do one achievement. Knowing that I would be set back several hours if I died once. Essentially the game will still switch you to hard mode, but you will not be able to complete impossible mode if you die. And with how many hazards there are in impossible mode, and just the game in general, I was scared for my life every time I went into a new room. Also, the thing with impossible mode, you can actually do a New Game Plus version of it. So where you could carry over all your equipment into the New Game Plus run and just breeze through it, impossible mode requires you to start blank slate. So pick up the plasma cutter and that's your first weapon. No upgrades, no nothing. You have to just go through the game as standard Isaac, picking up everything that you can remember from your previous playthroughs, which thankfully I remember 90% of it, and just pick the weapons that you think are the most effective for this run. Initially I was just going to stick with the plasma cutter for the entire run, but I realised quite soon that that was a bad idea. In this mode you need some more crowd control, so I decided to start using the Ripper once I found it, and then once I got the force gun I moved on to using that as well. Because as you'll see later, that is actually very useful. To be honest, I was actually breezing through quite a lot of the game at the start, stomping out corpses just so they couldn't get turned into extra necromorphs, being really slow and methodical with how I killed necromorphs, using their limbs and parts of the environment to kill them quicker, so I wouldn't get overwhelmed. I tended to never go below green health, and there was only certain sections like the centrifuge part where I was worried I was going to die, because there's a lot of instances where you can die to the environment in this game, and that's probably where you'll die in this game if you do impossible mode. As the necromorphs don't really seem to do much damage, as the game is technically set to hard mode, it's just permadeath. So after breezing through the centrifuge and coming to almost get killed by a door, oh my god, I almost died, we got to the medical area. The area where you find Nicole for the first time, her signal anyway, and have to turn it off. This is where my run ends. Not because I got killed by a necromorph or the hunter that spawns here. Just watch. Just watch. Why can I not move? He's in the room with me. I hope this doesn't fuck up my run, because I haven't saved it. Maybe if I mess with some settings I can get him back. There we go, guys. We finished the game. You try turning the controller off and then on. I don't think that's gonna work. It's like I'm bugged in the interaction between this scene. Ah, for fuck's sake. Well, here we go. Dead Space. Oh! Yep. I hadn't saved for 3.5 hours. I lost 3.5 hours worth of my life because Impossible Mode decided to freeze here. For those of you who don't know, Impossible Mode only has one save slot, and I took this as you only have one save altogether. So use your save wisely, like in Hardcore Mode, but no, it means you have one save slot, you can't make multiple saves, so if you die that save gets put to Hard Mode. But since I thought, oh, I'll just do this in one run, and didn't think my game would freeze, I lost all my save here. So I had to go right back to the very start of the game and had to do all this part all over again with the fear of dying at another part. So in the same stream I actually managed to get back to that point and saved it right before then just in case there was something wrong with my file or my install or something. But the cutscene triggered and I managed to get past that area. And as punishment for making my game freeze, I stuck the hunter in the deep freeze, which allows us to carry on with the rest of the game, uninterrupted. Once we continued on a bit and got to hydroponics, stabbing all the Weezers to get to the Leviathan, I had another life flash before my eyes situation, where a necromorph got super intelligent and tried to use my own laser beams against me. Is that gonna hurt me? I've actually gave it like a deadly weapon. It's like, I'm coming to kill you with your own weapon, you son of a bitch. Oh my god. How are you not dead? Why are they taking so long to die? It seems like this entire area is full of deadly traps, as trying to go towards one of the other Weezers almost put me in another deadly situation. These necromorphs are getting smarter. But another disaster averted, we carry on, upgrade our weapons, and take on the Leviathan. Which goes pretty well, I'd say. Fuck you, Leviathan! Get out of my ship! After all the drama, we're finally reunited with Nicole. But since this is Impossible Mode, I was more afraid of my life being in danger than hers here. Because if she dies here, I'm pretty sure it's a game over. And then we came to my most dreaded room of the run. Well, one of the many dreaded rooms of the run, but this is just one of them. A lot of things in this room can insta-kill you, and this is where I was worried my run was going to end. But we took it very slow, shot all the anchors, put the beacon on the meteor, and called the USM Valor. After a bit of quick puzzle solving, of course. Wouldn't be a survival horror game without puzzles. Oh yeah, and you know how the game crashed before? It did it again. I'm starting to believe it's part of the difficulty at this point. Good job we saved it, eh? How many is that? That's 2 crashes while I've been playing this, even though it's literally never crashed once when I played the other modes. Is this part of the difficulty? Is the fact it crashes constantly part of the fucking difficulty? After we boot the game back up for a second time and get to the USM Valor, I need to be very careful in this room. This room is another insta-fail area. If you blow up one of these necromorphs, you instantly die. So you need to make sure to either cut their arm off or just shoot them normally until they die, which is what I choose to do. I was so worried about shooting them here. You can also possibly impale them, but I didn't want to take the chance because I couldn't remember if it worked or not. So after a quick bit of target practice, we go on to get the core from the Valor, take it out, and cause a bit of ruckus on the way out, but we're fine. We're not coming back here. And then time for a bit of chilled out basketball. For anyone wondering why I took the chance of doing the target practice and the 0G basketball, because they spawn necromorphs, it is 100% worth it to do this, because you get power nodes and some extra ammo and health and stuff. So if you're struggling, it's well worth the effort. Oh yeah, and on the way down here, for some reason, a lift damaged me. I feel like this game's just trying to screw me over on this difficulty, as nothing like this happened in my other playthroughs. The lift? The lift hurt me? What? What is going on with this difficulty mode? And to make this area a little bit easier when we come back, we do a little bit of stomping. Just making sure. Plus, if an infector comes in, they're going to have no bodies to infect. By this point, I'd also picked up the two weapons that I'd be using for the rest of the game. The plasma cutter and the force gun. I learned pretty quickly in this playthrough that the force gun is probably one of the most OP weapons to keep you safe. And also to strip all the skin off the necromorphs. If you use the force gun, it takes all the skin off a necromorph and you can pop each limb with one shot, even if it's the more powerful necromorphs. Also, the force gun has the most expensive ammo in the game, so if you do want to use another weapon with it, you can just sell the ammo. After meeting our doctor friend again, we have to go on a quick little sprint away from the hunter. So running through this area, gathering as many things as we can, as quickly as we can, and getting the hell out of here. But thankfully, my other good friend, the force gun, keeps things at bay pretty easily now. This one gets the fire treatment. And then the doctor gets a nice big hug from his friend the hive mind. Bye, Mercer. Sorry, bro. Now we're in the home stretch, only 2 chapters to go. They are by far the most dangerous chapters, as there's more environmental hazards and a lot more necromorphs, but slow and steady wins the race. I protect the marker, deliver it to the ship, and now we're going back to Aegis 7. We were betrayed in the meantime, but that's not important. She'll get her comeuppance. On Aegis 7, it's just more defend the marker, deliver it to the position it's supposed to be in. So we do all that. There wasn't any really close calls here. With the force gun upgraded as much as it is, and the plasma cutter upgraded as high as it can go almost, this area is pretty simple. And then we come to the fan room, which is where you see my heart rate really go up. Even just the thought of this room.
Come back to the marker quickly. The excavation site is just up ahead. Make us home.
Alright, this is the dangerous part. This is why my heart rate's going up. Oh my god, I thought that killed me there. I actually thought I died here because the camera zoomed in so much. And you can see by my heart rate I thought I died and lost 7 and a bit hours. But thankfully the game gave me a break after all the crashes and I survived. We're okay, we're good. So after a few more battles and a big revelation later, we come to the hive mind. And as much as I know this boss from the previous 2 playthroughs, my heart rate was still going. As you can still get insta-killed by this boss if you're not careful. But finally we land the last hit.
Is that it?
And I ain't celebrating until the game gives me the achievement, as we know how much it's crashed so far. Get the fuck out of here! I don't care! Go, 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 go! Don't you dare fucking crash, game. If you crash, I am not buying Dead Space 2. Go, Isaac! Go, 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 go! I'm not celebrating until goes through and it hasn't crashed. I'm also keeping my hands on the controller and nowhere else. Thank you, Matt, but it's not. Oh! Fuck you, game! Crashed twice. And also did it in one run. That was my... I only took one attempt to do impossible mode. Impossible mode my ass. Easy mode, more like. So that's it for impossible mode, guys. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to go for this achievement, I 100% recommend it. It's a really fun difficulty to do. The fact if you die, you have to go right back to the start and watch all the cutscenes again is a bit annoying. I'm glad I didn't die because I would have been really annoyed if I had to do that. But having the horror tension cranked up to 11 when you're doing this difficulty just makes the game feel so much better. And I really hope they make a Dead Space 2 because of this. If you haven't bought the game already, even though it's quite expensive, I would recommend it because the game is very good and they have changed a fair bit of it. And I want to see a remake of Dead Space 2 and 3, so please, please, please go support this game. But I hope you enjoyed the video. It was really fun streaming this and making this. Like I said, I stream all these things live on my Twitch channel. At the moment I'm doing Akumu difficulty again on my 360 version of Evo then. So if you want to go and watch that, feel free. The Discord link will be down below for the achievement Discord that we have and just kind of general chats that we usually have in our Discord. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been a great time making this video. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.